Today we're going to be taking a look at Urtuk The Desolation. Anytime I see a game like this, I get very excited. It almost seems like Lovecraftian elements or art elements with, of course, a strategy base. And in this particular case, it looks very similar to the art you would see in Darkest Dungeon. This is a first look video, so we're going to jump into this completely blind as if none of us have looked at it yet. And let's go ahead and jump into the start campaign. Now there's also a map editor here, which I think is pretty neat. I always like when a game has a map editor because it increases the replay value just for, base game, which I really enjoy. So let's go ahead, jump into start campaign. And it looks like we've got a number of different actual starting characters here. And Urtuk, I guess I never took that literally before, but Urtuk actually is one of the characters you start with, almost like a sort of diseased priest. Now I love the art style here, and it looks like we can actually take 2 items to go ahead and proceed forward in the game. And I think what I will take, I'm a big axe guy, I have to be honest. But then again, these mutator items, as you can take a look here, actually gain critical strike. They have different bonus abilities, which seems really, really fascinating. So I might take the Action Man mutator, and I might take extra medicine. I'm always in need of extra medicine, what can I say? Now, Urtuk is, of course, a priest, but we've got a guardian here and a berserker. And if I'm not mistaken, we can actually switch to different kinds of classes, a war monk, a footman, a hunter, etc. So I think I'm going to start, and I love the spearman, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and start with the guardian and the berserker as well. Pretty much just whatever the game gives us and hope for the best. Hold on a sec. Got to retake our items. And let's go ahead and go for adventure mode. So this is for experienced tactical RPG fans. Exploration, I guess, would be more if you just want to learn the story of the game, etc. We're going to go for adventure. So let's start the game and wish us luck. In a dim prison called the Sanatorium, far underground, far from the light, the maniacal alchemist performs his experiments on unwilling subjects. Here in this grim cell begins the story of Urtuk. For many years was Urtuk bound to the alchemist's workbench, but on this day his fortunes would change. Ferocious blows, the heavy prison door shudders in its frame. Eldrick, Urtuk's friend from the world above. I brought weapons. Here, take them. Hurry, there are too many to kill them all. Too late. The sanatorium guards have been summoned. So here we go, guys. Urtuk has had a ton of experiments performed on him. Who knows what's going to happen to him, man? He doesn't look very good. It looks like he's been quite infected with something, as it were. So over here, we can, of course, fast forward, but we're going to keep the intro going. And I really like this. I was sort of expecting just the Darkest Dungeon, essentially us versus them, but we actually have turn-based mechanics here, placement, etc. So we want to go ahead and get to the exit over here. And once again, the art style here is just fabulous. The sacrifices all over the place, the heads on spikes. You can't get much darker than this. So we need to first kill these 2 guards of the sanatorium, and I'm guessing that my guardian is going to go first, and he actually just threw the guard onto some spikes. So that's a huge bonus in this game, the fact that you can actually throw enemies onto spikes, crucifixes, etc. to kill them. I love it. Got a battle advisor here. It's going to give us some tips, etc. in game, and I think what I'm going to do is immediately push forward with Urtuk. Let's do it. So, normally if a character executes an action like his attack, his turn automatically ends. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead, and we need to actually go ahead and end the turn or click wait. I think what I'll do... Yeah, let's just wait. And we're going to go ahead and push forward. I don't want to completely end the turn yet. I want to try to get my berserker up there to try and get a kill. If that's even possible, it may not be. Go ahead and skip that turn as well, and we're going to move our guardian forward as well. There we go. All right, let's see what this guard does. Oh, my goodness. Damage blocked by armor. So as you can see, depending on the armor you have, you might be able to block damage from incoming enemies. Another thing I really like here is you can see our guy bleeding. So there's definitely negative effects to getting hit, one of those, of course, being the good old bleed effect. Now, I wonder if I attack from here. No, that's not going to work. We're going to have to walk And now let Urtuk go ahead and attack. So we entered the enemy's zone of control. All tiles adjacent to an enemy are in the zone of control. Once we enter here, we can't move any further. That makes sense. We're essentially locked in combat here with the enemy. Now, this is an Aegis buff. I don't think I want to go for that, but I might want to go for the lifesteal buff. This would pretty much cause any strikes we do against the enemy to go into our health, which is pretty neat. But you know what? Let's just keep it simple. Go ahead and go for a standard attack. Urtuk getting some revenge. I love it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to see if he's willing to swap, and he is. Beautiful. Might just be able to save Eldric's life. So let's go ahead and take the Berserker, and we shall attack. Now, the Berserker has different skills, and one of them is Bash. Since this guy is near some spikes, that might actually be the correct skill to use. Let's take a look here. Doesn't look like we're able to get the Bash skill. Hold on, do I have the correct guy selected? No! I didn't want to lose. We're just gonna have to go for this. No, so we somehow got the Guardian selected. Maybe once we... I get what's happening here. Once we swap, that ends his turn. So in this case, we're just gonna stay put. We're gonna go ahead and end the turn. Let him do his worst. Just gonna shield ally. So we'll essentially provide a shield for our Berserker ally here. Now, this is fascinating. We've got a lead ability, which allows this target to be attacked by all of our allies, including Urtuk here. So let's go ahead and try to take out this guy with the lead ability. He's going to get an assist from the Berserker, and we just cut that guy up into little bits. And because of the height advantage there that the Berserker had, we did additional damage. So again, very important to be in the correct place in the game. In this case specifically, the height advantage plays a big deal. Let's wait there. And it looks like, sure enough, another temple guard shows up. Or excuse me, prison guard shows up. We've got to do something about that. Now, once he leaves the actual zone of Urtuk, he loses that shielding, which of course makes sense. That was Urtuk's skill after all. Let's go ahead and take Urtuk and try to just escape here. If I don't have to fight, I won't. If I can escape with my life, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I fear that Urtuk's friend Eldric is not going to make it out of this dungeon. You're going to be okay, Eldric. Just hang on there. Oh, nope. He is down. Unfortunately, you've lost your friend, poor Eldric. But we will continue here with the rest of our characters, and we have achieved a victory. So now our journey begins, and we have essentially escaped the sanatorium. We're now in the Badlands. So as you can see, the game is not just set in the sanatorium. It's not like Darkest Dungeon, just set in certain dungeons. You're actually going out into the world at large, and this is a dark world, a world full of vicious mutations, you know, very, very sick people. And as you can see, we are actually currently the victims of one of these deadly mutations. Not sure what's going to happen because of that, but as you can see, we need to search for the cure of this awful affliction. I'm going to go ahead and proceed forward. It looks like there's an abandoned camp somewhere to the north. People from another region are engaged in some secretive trading. A number of adventurers have gone missing in the area. Sounds like slave trading to me. Let's see if we can't help these prisoners. And of course, now we've got the world opening up to us. So something's not right in this abandoned camp. Closer examination reveals fresh tracks from many people. An even closer look reveals a secret slaver's hideout. Near these hostile bastards are 3 caged prisoners. It's going to be quite risky. There are also some scavengers close by. And of course, the scavengers have lost all sense of decency. They're just out there to try and survive. They will kill anything that comes across them. Of course, I'm going to attack. But as you can see, in this game, you don't always necessarily want to attack depending on the risk-reward. If that was a very hard battle, we might just keep on moving. So we can deploy up to 6 characters on the battlefield. Right now, we just have 3. Hopefully, when we free these slaves, we'll be able to actually deploy a few more characters. I'm not seeing any slavers around. Are they going to be behind us? Oh, never mind. I see them. They don't look too friendly either. Move forward with Urtuk. And I want to have that uphill advantage if possible, that height advantage. So I'm going to try to stay sort of high up here, and hopefully the enemy will come to me. Oh my goodness, Urtuk taking a nasty little hit there. Although this guy has gotten quite close, this gives us an opportunity to really rain hell. So let's take our Berserker, and I was thinking we'd get that height attack, but he's currently in front of Urtuk. So let's move down. Let's just go for a standard attack. Boom! Berserker Duelist. Actually gets another hit there. So it looks like once you're out of breath, aka out of stamina, that makes sense. You no longer attack. I'm also going to move forward with our Guardian. Although I'm not sure we're going to be able to attack this turn because we've already done quite a lot of movement. Not bad. And I think Urtuk should be able to finish this guy off. Let's go ahead and try and do the lead attack. I'm not sure if it's going to work because these guys have already attacked, so they're probably out of breath. In which case, let me just do a standard attack here. Ooh, so in this case, his armor completely protected him. You could actually see the armor flashing here, letting us know that, no, he was absolutely able to stay alive with that armor. Let's try to finish this guy off once and for all. In fact, I am going to attack him, believe it or not. We could also go for a shield bash. Now, it would have been more useful if there were some spikes behind him, but we have stunned the target, which I think is a huge bonus. Let's go for the lifesteal buff, guys. We are in need of additional life. Let's see, target receives. So I guess this is just a buff we can actually provide to someone. I'm not sure. I don't want to do it to... Yeah, I don't want to do it to one of my own men. And we would have to do it to one of our own characters. So that's interesting. It looks like old Urtuk is also a bit vampiric. Attack. And again, that defense is doing really well. Now, we did backstab an enemy. Typically, that would lead to a critical hit or an automatic critical hit, but his armor is just defending him in every single way. Our Berserker is in some trouble for sure. Beautiful. The Guardian at least knows what he's doing. And I think this is really the main target, is going to be this fellow right here. He's also stunned. As you can see, yeah, that lifesteal ability absolutely is only for our own warriors. So we could go for a standard attack. We could also go for the Aegis buff. But this actually costs us 40 HP. So a lot of these buffs cost us quite a lot of health. What I'm going to do instead, go ahead and attack. We did get that automatic critical hit. And he's going to try to retreat. It also looks like he might be bleeding. Fortunately, our Berserker is down. Or injured. Interesting. So not necessarily down. Let's take a look here. He gets injured. Injured characters can still participate in combat. But if they fall a second time, they die and are gone forever. Alright, I like that. So we will get a chance to redeem our Berserker. Let's push forward, folks. Again, just going for a standard attack here. Target is 2 levels above me, so that's going to lower the attack. Can we push the target? I don't think we can push him at this distance. We could try to shield our ally, but that's going to have to happen next turn. So let's simply end the turn there. And it looks like Urtuk is gaining health on his own. I love that. Let's get over here. And we're going to see if we can't lead an attack. Looks like he's actually responding to us. One of the enemies, I should say, is responding to us. So let's move with the Guardian over here. And I'm going to continue attacking this fellow right here. He just looks a little more dangerous. A massive mace as opposed to a javelin. Hang in there, Urtuk. In fact, let me see if I can get that double attack with Urtuk. I'm just going to wait. And with Urtuk now, I am going to try and get the lead attack. Yes! Beautiful! Still not quite dead, but this is absolutely a start. They're all going for Urtuk here, which is terrifying. It's making it very hard to defend him. Now let's take a look here. We did have an inventory. I wonder, can we actually go ahead and get into our inventory right now? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. What we will do is go ahead and do just standard attacks here. Looks like we could also shield our ally. So let's go for shielding our ally. Although this is only going to shield against a single attack, which doesn't seem very promising. We're going to have to go for lifesteal. So this would kill the caster if we actually use lifesteal right now. So this nullifies damage from any source. But again, we're using health for this particular ability, and that's going to probably end up killing us. It's going to be down to our Guardian at this point to finish off the Javelineer. And the leader has fallen. So injuries can be healed, but the next time he falls with an injury, that's the end of the game. So essentially the same rule for our Guardians as well. Got some pretty decent defense there. Alright, let's go for the kill. There we go. One slaver dead. Now we've got to chase down the Javelineer. And I get the feeling with this armor, hopefully we'll have a bit of an advantage and be able to really run this guy down. I'm going to get up to his level because, again, elevation is very important in this game. And, of course, he has very little in terms of armor. He's also just given us the ability to wipe him out completely. We'll move forward, attack from up here. The next attack will almost certainly be a kill unless he's able to avoid it. And let's see if we don't get some additional units. Because as you can see during this fight, we lost 2 of our units quite quickly. I think we could really use some extra units. Slavers were planning some nasty business here. You found prisoners and were able to free them. One of them agreed to join you. That is awesome. So we have a decision here, guys. We can actually get a hunter, an assassin, or we can get a footman. A strong and heavily armored soldier used for not locking down enemies. I think any of these could be helpful, but in this particular situation, we could really use a footman. So we're going to set Blindvig, the footman, free. We can also extract mutators here. So let's go ahead, try and extract them. Hopefully this is going to help us cure our awful illness. If not, it'll at least make our character somewhat stronger. So there we go, guys. The first stop here in Urtuk. Plenty of other areas here, and you can see this map is quite large. We can't even see the entire map itself. But this is certainly a game that looks very, very interesting. Definitely elements of Darkest Dungeon, and maybe even elements of other games that I've played before. I love these sort of dark strategy games or dark RPG games. It's pretty hard to find and quite fascinating when somebody comes out with one. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd love to play some more of this game, so if you want to see some more, make sure to do those things. Catch you on the next one, folks.